How to wedding plan during COVID-19.
Step 1, grab yourself a glass of wine.
Step 2, social distancing. Cheers.
In all seriousness, wedding planning is hard as a normal bride, but planning a wedding during a pandemic that has affected the entire country, that's a completely different scenario.
I'm Josh Flom with Flom Films, and this is Janelle with Janelle Elise Photography. And this, although we are joking, is a pretty serious thing. I know this is probably really stressful for a lot of you guys out there, and some of you are just curious about the challenges that might be encountering a lot of our couples and brides of 2020.
This has affected not only you guys, but every single vendor in the wedding community. It has affected the entire country and world. So this isn't something we take lightly. I think the first step is to understand that it's okay to mourn. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel stressed. This is not a normal situation, and this is not something that you're normally prepped to deal with. So it's okay to be stressed and overwhelmed by this. But take a step back farther from that and think about the options you guys have, because you do have options.
So we want to go through a few different scenarios that we've been having a lot of questions on, a lot of people have been asking us about, and just hopefully help you if you're in this scenario. So we wanted to
Hopefully we don't deal with a pandemic down the road again, but
we do know that we are in this right now. So if you're getting married in the year of 2020, this video is for you. If you're a vendor in the year of 2020, this video is for you. And if it's after 2020, we really hope this isn't happening again, but maybe this video is for you.
Option 1.
Keep your wedding date.
This is totally doable, guys. I know that there's been a lot of restrictions, whether it's 200 people, 50 people, 10 people. I know that things change day by day, but if you guys want to keep your wedding date and get married, there are options.
There are definitely options. We have a bride that's actually getting married in only a few days from now, and we're still doing the wedding. It's basically an at-home elopement. I know that sounds crazy, but best man, maid of honor, your favorite officiant, and the vendors, we're still capturing it, and we are being conscious of the pandemic and of, the contagious virus, but we're still being able to make it something special and tell a beautiful story through that day.
It could actually end up being a crazy positive that you would never even imagine or ask for. But having that intimacy and those moments together, we can kind of make a really fun story that's personalized to you guys. You can make it so much more about yourselves, and you have to deal with no stress of people getting mad about not getting invited. So that's a silver lining.
Reach out to your vendors, think creatively. We're here to join you in this challenge and make something that's really special for you.
There's options for small elopement weddings, like weekday weddings. You could get married on a Tuesday. I have a Tuesday couple that's getting married. You can get married on the weekend still, but for the most part, I do urge you guys, consider the restrictions, make sure you guys are looking at what the rules are for what state you're in, and definitely, I do advise you to consider the restrictions that they have put in place for your safety and for your guests.
Mm-hmm. Some options that are available to you guys: a backyard,
park,
living room,
venue if it's open,
a photography studio. A lot of those are in the cities. Cliffside in California, my wife and I.
I want you guys to think outside the box. This is a very unique situation in our culture right now, and there are no rules with your wedding. If you guys want to make it just you two, even your mom and dad, or maybe just you guys and the minister, make it your own. You can make it special, you can get married, and then here's the best part. Save that big reception party for a time down the road when you can have it. We're gonna go there now.
A lot of people have asked us, okay, we're having an intimate wedding, but we wanted our friends or family to see the ceremony, or we wanted people to be a part of this moment. There are a lot of options available, and I would recommend, whether it's us or whoever you're working with, look into maybe the option of live streaming your ceremony. That's something that's really popular during this moment that you could look into. Something that is actually my personal favorite is ask your vendor if they do a 24-hour turnaround on some of your edits. So for us, we can offer a live stream. It's a little bit more limited. I'd rather offer you a 24-hour turnaround on your ceremony, give you all the camera angles, professional audio, all the bells and whistles that we typically have within 24 hours, so that grandma, if she is in quarantine, or your friends who are in quarantine, whoever it may be, can watch your ceremony, your speeches in their full glory like they were there.
If you want to show it to like the immediate family, you can save that video and show it at your reception, whenever that is. Maybe it's in the summer, maybe it's in the fall, maybe it's in the winter, or maybe it's honestly next summer or spring. But you can save that video and have it be a really awesome highlight at your reception for all of your guests to see.
Option 2, change your wedding day.
This may sting a little bit because guess what? You've been dreaming of that date for a long time. You've been going to bed and thinking of it in your head. And again, it's okay to mourn that, but think about the options that you have in front of you and let's move forward and think about how cool it could be. The first thing you guys need to do if you're considering changing your wedding date is reach out to your top priority vendors. There are tons of vendors that are part of your wedding day. We understand that. More likely than not, they may not all be available on your future date that you pick. So reach out to your top vendors. And that's different for everyone. It could be your photographer, it could be your florist, whatever your top priority is, reach out to them right away, figure out their calendar, figure out your venue's calendar, and try to coordinate that. In this time, right now with the craziness, everybody is trying to reach out and help each other.
The reason we want you to reach out to your top priority vendors is because a lot of people in the wedding industry, they may book out 12 to 18 months in advance, sometimes even further than that. So our year is already packed for the weddings we have, and this challenge and this pandemic has definitely changed that. So some of us may have dates available, but we do have couples even exploring, Sunday weddings, weekday weddings. We're trying to get creative to make sure we can serve our clients and our couples as best as we can.
A lot of vendors are going to want to bend over backwards and make it the best possible day for you and try to make something work. This is a very unique situation. So on times where I may not normally take doubleheader weddings, I may make exceptions to do that for this because I want to make it work for my couples as best as possible. A big question you may have is, do I get my deposits back if I cancel?
This is a really tricky one, and honestly, we don't have an easy answer for you. It completely depends on the vendor, the contract, and a lot of different scenarios. So what you really need to do is reach out to your vendors, learn more, look over your contracts. That'll help you as well. This is a very, very unique scenario that none of us have gone through. This is the first time, for sure in our generation, but pretty much ever, that we've had to encounter this type of problem. So a lot of people, I can't speak to your vendor, I can't speak exclusively for everybody, but a lot of people are trying to be creative. A lot of people are bending the rules of their contract or completely making new binding documents with their couples. I can't speak to your scenario, but I do encourage you, reach out, contact your vendors, and think creatively. Okay, so this isn't a normal scenario, so don't think of it as a normal process.
More oftentimes than not, your deposit is going to be non-refundable, so that will be a loss.
The reason we have deposits is, like I mentioned earlier, we do book out 12 to 18 months in advance, sometimes further, so we are reserving that day. And that is a large part of how the wedding industry structures our business and our income and basically our cash flow.
We only take a certain amount of weddings per year. The reason we do that, and the reason that we do that, I can't speak to everybody, but is because I want to give the best attention to each of those brides. So can I take 60 weddings in a year? Yes. Have I taken 50? Yes. Should I? No. I cut it down to a certain number so that I can prioritize all of them and treat them like they're the only bride that I have. That's why we save our wedding dates, and that's why we require non-refundable deposits.
So with that said, guys, again, we can't speak to all vendors, but if you're working with us, reach out to us. We want to talk to you. If you're working with other vendors, reach out to them. They want to talk to you. I can promise you that much. They do want to work through this process with you, and we want to try to solve these problems. We feel for you. This is a really, really hard time. You've been dreaming of your wedding date for a while now. You have all your vendors lined up. You have invites sent. You have money invested. You think the government's gonna shut down. There's a lot of stuff going on, and we understand all of that. We're going through this with our couples, and we get where you're coming from. Patience. I know that's really hard to hear. I know that doesn't necessarily resonate, but truly, patience. It's waiting to see where things go, how our quarantine method's going to work, our cure is going to work, all these different things. And truly, my personal belief, we are both obsessive optimists, but I really think you guys are going to be in a great place by that time.
At the end of the day, guys, it is your decision. It's your wedding day. There's lots of options you have here. I know you feel really restricted by all of the rules, but there are options. And so look around, there's lots of people that want to help in the photo community, in the wedding community in general. We feel for you. We feel it's a really stressful time for everyone. So we are here for you.
At the end of the day, it's all about you marrying your best friend, starting this new adventure, going down this new journey. And there's a lot of challenges, there's a lot of variables, we get that, but focus on the part where you get to marry your best friend and start this new life together. So we love you guys, we feel for you guys. If you have any questions, reach out.
Comment below, we'll help you out.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.